Hello and welcome back to another edition of Check It Out. Okay friends, let's talk Honda keys. This is going to be a special video for one of my viewers, Tanya Cooper, who is having some problems with her Honda key. We're going to dive deeper into the Honda key. I'll explain to you how it works. If you're more of an expert than myself, hey, put some comments down below. Help out other viewers, help out Tanya. Let's see if we can get her back on the road. So Tanya, here's the 3 keys that came with my vehicle. 1 valet key and 2 of these regular keys, if we can call it that. And you can see that one of my regular keys has exploded right here. And the other videos I have on here kind of explain how you can start your car if this happens to your vehicle. So let's start with the valet key. This is a really important key, and I think a lot of people overlook it. If you happen to have this key, you can still drive your vehicle totally normal. Still has the part that actually turns the ignition components, and it still has the chip that's inside here that allows the immobilizer unit in your vehicle, the fancy system that keeps your car from getting stolen. It has that chip inside here, somewhere to where I'm pointing down in here, it has that chip. We'll talk more about that chip in just a second. Here's a regular key right here, right? It opens and closes the door. It has the chip in it, which we can't see right here. And then it has a regular part of the key, which turns the ignition components and makes your vehicle work. So now let's get to what Tanya's having such a tough time with. And so many Honda people seem to have the same problem. And I can tell that because my other video has tons and tons of views and a lot of people having these same problems. So let's make sure that if this does happen to your key, don't throw any of these parts away. Even though this plastic shell might look like it's kind of worthless at this point, it's probably the most important part of the whole key here. So let's walk through this and see what we can do. So this part right here, obviously we need this to turn the ignition components to the key. This is going to open and close our doors, but this guy right here is the most important part on here. This little rectangular prism is our chip. So one of the things that's confusing is Tanya is asking, hey, can't I just buy a new shell like this right here on Amazon or eBay? And yes, you can. I'll actually put a link in the description below at how you can do that. And you can buy one of these. It's relatively cheap, 10 to 15 bucks. You can get a blank one like this. And she's saying, could I put the components, this part here, inside a new key and get the key cut at my hardware store? Yes, you can, and yes, you can. However, your key is not going to work in your vehicle, and here's why. This chip right here has to come along with it. So, Tanya, if you're saying, can I put the innards from my old key into a new FOB? Yes, you can. But don't forget, you need to put this part in. But most importantly, you need to figure out a way to get this guy right here, this chip, needs to be cut out, broken out, however you're going to get it out, taken out of here, and glued into your new FOB. And that is probably going to be a pain in the neck. So there are some videos. There's a guy who does it on YouTube, and he cuts it out and then glues it into here. And if you watch his video and you see the comments down below, it sounds like a lot of people have tried it, and it does not sound like an easy process to get this chip out of there. But you can do that. So here's a couple other options you can do. So number one is you just have to have this chip. So if you wanted to just keep this guy with you and put the rest of the new stuff in a key, and when you go to start the vehicle, you're going to have to put this little rectangular prism, the chip, right next to where you start the car. Yeah, that sounds like a pain in the neck to me. I agree with you. You could try to cut it out of here and maybe super glue it onto, I don't know, maybe the back side of the key, something like that. Glue it onto here, right here. Yeah, I don't love that. But again, Tanya's asking, hey, how can I do this on a very, very slim budget? What would be the right way to do this? The right way would be to take this key down here, walk into your Honda dealership, have them make you a new key. However, that would probably empty your wallet by, I'm going to guess, somewhere between $350 and $500. Maybe I'm a little bit steep on that. I don't know. If you know better than me, if you're more of an expert on these keys, hey, put some comments below and help us out. But I think you're probably going to be somewhere $350, $400, maybe more than that. So that's what we're trying to avoid. When you go on Amazon, I see that they sell the blank FOB shell for like 10 to 15 bucks. Again, I'll put a link in the description and you can check that out. So you could do that and try to cut this guy out and put it on the outside, or inside is really where it should go, of this key. The second thing is, if you go to Amazon, they sell you a blank FOB that does have a chip inside it. But don't forget, Tanya, just because it has this chip right here, when you buy it, you have to have that chip programmed. So there's two different components to this key that have to get programmed. When people are talking about programming a keyless entry system, this is the part they're talking about, right? The opening and closing of the doors. You can get a FOB and you can program it to open and close your doors relatively easy. But that's not what they're talking about as far as that actually starting your vehicle. So if you want it to actually start your vehicle, you need this chip to come along into the new key. So finally, let's come back to that valet key and let's make sure that we're clear on what that can and cannot do. So what is a valet key? Okay, so if you go to a very nice hotel or a very nice dinner, which I don't do very much, but if you have a valet, that person is going to park your car for you. So what is that key going to do? Well, it needs to let the valet person parking your car, be able to lock and unlock your door and also be able to start and drive your vehicle. So what can the valet key not do? The valet key is not going to be able to lock or unlock things like your glove box, right? Where you might like store something, either your wallet or your sunglasses, something you don't want to get stolen. So the valet key will not do some of those little things in the car, but it will do all of the big functional things. Again, locking, unlocking your doors, driving your vehicle. You could essentially drive your vehicle with that valet key. Like if you're really on a low budget, just use the valet key and you could almost use that exclusively. And then you could also keep, if you still have your broken key, you could just use that part to lock and unlock things like the glove box. All right, friends, I hope this video helped you out. If it did, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.